sweet. Thank you so much, Noe. Appreciate. Yeah,
No problem.
go ahead.
So, because this is our first session, I want to get to know you a little bit more and get to understand where you're coming from,
Mhm.
what your goals are, etc., etc. So, I want to know a little bit more about you, like how much you've been playing the game for, what's your main role, what exactly
Mhm.
is your goal with Overwatch at this moment.
Mhm. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, my first experience was a couple of years ago. I think it was like 2 years into the game, so 2000 something. I don't remember exactly when I started. It was at least 4 years ago. I'm a DPS main, but I got to diamond and I was like, okay, I'm good. I kind of got really good at that. I knew probably I could go higher, but my goal has always been to just get to diamond. And so
Hmm.
that's kind of I switched now to recently, maybe like a year max ago now that I've been trying to grind tank, and my goal is to be diamond, and I'm hardstuck like 27, 28.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you want to get a diamond in the tank role this time instead of
that's
DPS,
right.
cause okay.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
And in particular, I mean, you've been playing for a year now.
Uh-huh.
And is there anything that you feel that is stopping you from getting to that rank?
Yes, actually, a couple of things I would say, like positioning wise. Some stuff like and then there's situational moments that I don't know what to do. I think there's a couple of moments that I'm like, wait, but I did so much. Like, what can I do so the DPS, what, like, there's been moments that I'm like, what else can I do?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
So I'm gonna add a little bit of information to that because
Okay.
obviously I play ranked. I reach top 500, and I reach it pretty much every season. I haven't played the game in a while because
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of like ready to move on to Overwatch 2.
No, it's okay. Understandable.
So,
Uh-huh.
but I play for like 30 something seasons, and every time I reach top 500, and I have a kind of like a system where of certain things that I would like to do
Mm-hmm.
in order for me to kind of like win the match or win the games, and we're gonna discuss it a little bit and see if that
Mm-hmm.
can make a little bit of sense for you.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
moving to the tank role, do you prefer to play a particular tank, like main tanks mostly, or off tanks?
I've been flexing, so I prefer main tank. I think I main tank have been more. I've gotten way more SR, but there's times where I feel like, oh, the game's over, and I switch to Hawk and Zarya just to peel and try to get their DPS. But maybe that's not the best solution. But no, mainly I
Yeah.
use mainly tank. Yeah, main tank.
Okay. So, but you're flexible enough that you can play any tank pretty much that you
Yeah,
want at the moment.
that's
Okay.
right. Except for ball, only ball I never touch. That's the only
Hmm.
tank. Yeah.
And what are your like three best tanks right now?
It would be, let me see the career profile. Oh, Sigma, Reinhardt, and that third one I'm not sure because I kind of playing the same. And they're kind of like 40% win rate. So I would say I would put Hog because I like Hog. I have a good time.
Got it.
Uh,
Okay. So, um, all right. So I'm gonna give you like a basic. Before we start watching your replay, I'm gonna
mhm,
talk to you a little bit about of things that I think about when I play the game. It doesn't matter what role I
okay.
play. I always think about doing damage. I need to be playing a character that does damage
Okay.
to the enemy team consistently because at the end of the day in this game, even if you're playing support,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not killing the enemy team, you're not winning the team fight, right?
Okay. Uh huh.
So you need to be playing a character that does damage
Mm-hmm.
in order for you to pretty much get a kill and snowball the fight and get an advantage to your team.
Okay.
So from the characters that you mentioned, I think the most consistent in terms of like in the power creep in Overwatch 1, the most powerful tank is probably Sigma.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ryan and Hulk are extremely limited
Mm-hmm.
to the amount of damage that they can do.
Okay.
The reason why that is because Ryan is a character that gets kited by a lot of the cast. He's a close quarters character,
Mm-hmm.
and usually, like if you're playing versus like Hanzo, Widow,
Yeah.
Zenyatta,
Uh huh.
all those long range DPSs, Can you reach them with Rhine? Can you do damage to them with Rhine?
No, no, zero.
No,
Yeah.
it's extremely difficult, right?
Hmm.
So basically, what you need to do is you need to try to adjust your tank play and choose the tank that allows you to do damage to the enemy team.
Okay.
So, for example, if you're playing versus a lot of characters that have a lot of range,
Hmm.
maybe this is a moment for you to play Sigma. That way, you can get closer to them and you have your range yourself to shoot them.
Hmm.
Maybe you can play Orisa, or maybe you can play like Ball, Diva, or Winston in
Okay.
this case.
Okay.
So you need to understand that the most important thing to for you to get success is get kills, and you get kills by doing damage. All right.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Um, Hog falls in the same situation because Hog is a character that, in order for you to actually kill something, you need to be at hook range,
Hmm.
and depending on what characters they are playing, that role can be extremely difficult. It's also really map dependent. Obviously, like Hawk has an advantage of like he can heal himself and he's able to get closer with his base kit.
Hmm.
But overall, if you're not landing your hooks, if you're not getting to optimal range,
Hmm.
you're not gonna be killing anything.
Hmm.
Because he doesn't do any damage outside of the hook, right?
That's
He's
right.
really really bad with damage.
Hmm.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch your replays. We're
Hmm.
gonna watch them together,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna try to pretty much feed you information of things that I will be doing in that time, what character is better versus what I have, and hopefully I can teach you basic fundamentals
Hmm.
of what characters to pick based on what characters they have.
Yes. Yes.
Um, if Is there any matchups in particular that you feel that you struggle with when you play the game, like when they're playing X character, for example, or something that you struggle a lot versus like maybe like an Ash or like a Tracer, etc., etc.
I would say again in tanks mainly Hog is the one that gives me quite a bit of a pickle because with Ryan I feel like I'm just trying to cock him on his hook, and then on DPS it would be, yeah, like you said, a Tracer is a pretty good example. Like I can never
Okay,
touch her and they just destroy my backline, and Doomfist as well. So,
all right. So I'm gonna give you. You might not like what I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna we're gonna watch a little bit of the replay and then
no, yeah, I understand. Go
we're
ahead.
gonna put two and two together and see what you think about it. But
Hmm.
so from the three replays that you gave me,
Hmm.
only one works, by the way, which is the
Oh.
Hollywood one. If that's is that okay if we can just watch this one, or is there
It's
you
fine. We can watch the Hollywood one. I think all the ones
okay?
I sent you, I looked them over and they were pretty, like, kind of what
I
happens
don't
to me
know.
a lot.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't work. Like I was getting like an error, so
Oh,
I don't know if you want to double check them
okay.
after we're done with this one.
Hmm. Okay.
But yeah, let's just start with this.
Hmm.
Who you're your mom, right? You said that this is your
Yeah,
character.
that's right.
All
Yeah.
right. So all right. So obviously, um, we're playing Rhine Zarya,
Hmm.
the classic, right? Like I'm pretty sure you point Zarya because this guy's on Rhine.
Hmm.
Um, so you're like, okay, let's go, let's do Ryan Zarya.
Hmm.
So let's look at the enemy team composition here. So Zarya is a character that I consider her to be like mid to close range character,
Hmm.
because in order for her to do a lot of damage, her majority of her damage comes from her left click. She needs to be beaming people with her left click,
Hmm.
right? So look at their composition, look at their character.
Hmm.
Is it easy for us to left click them?
Left click on.
What do you think?
Not very easy, no.
Not very
They're
easy.
very
You
far
can do
away.
it on their tanks,
Uh
right?
huh.
Obviously.
Uh huh.
On their
That's right.
tanks, you can beam their tanks, you can focus them, but what happens once you kill the Reinhardt? How do you reach the Zen? How do you reach the Diva? Or,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, the Hanzo? How do you reach the Sombra or the Yana?
Yeah,
It's really hard,
it's really
right?
hard. Yeah, a lot of range.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
Yeah. So in this situation,
Mm-hmm.
you have to compromise. And you're like, okay, so Zarya is really good versus their tank.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, after we kill their tank, it's going to be really difficult to deal with the rest of the team. So you can say this, okay, well, fuck it. I'm not going to play Zarya, but instead I play a character like Diva, for example.
Oh.
Because with Diva is the complete opposite. Diva is not that good versus their tank
Uh huh.
because she cannot matrix any of the damage that they do,
That's
but
right.
Diva is amazing versus the other four, correct? Because
Oh.
you can matrix the nade, you can matrix the Zen damage, the Hanzo, you can fly to the Hanzo,
Uh huh.
you can spy check the Sombra. So
Mm.
Diva is way more flexible versus the other four character, right?
Mhm.
So this is the things that you need to be thinking about,
Mhm.
because yeah, Zarya is really good versus their tank,
That's right.
but you're really bad versus the other.
Mhm.
So overall, you want to pick a character that's good versus the majority of them. Now, I'm not saying that Zarya cannot work. You can make the Zarya work, but you have to play more aggressive and you have to get in there so you can try to like reach their backline and kill their backline. If you're not killing him, if you're not killing the enemy, then you're not playing properly. You're not playing the proper character.
I
Okay.
see. Yeah.
So from this replay in particular, is there anything that you remember that you wanna talk about? Anything that you're like, oh, I sent you this because of this?
Um, Let me see my notes real quick, but no, I think I'd rather let it play because I'll remember it. Because I'm not sure which one this one is. I'd like to see more. Yeah. Because oh wait, I guess I do have a Isaria front lines. Do I go up with her or do I stay with the team? Oh yeah, but that's a Ryan question. I guess now that we're talking about Saria, like, um, when if I was the Ryan in this case, and the because I've seen Sarias that go really forward and they do have energy. Is that a moment where I also commit? I guess it's situational. I don't know. What would your question? Your answer would be if Saria front lines. Do I go with
The
her or do I stay with the team?
if the it's really important. Like the way that I play Zarya
Mm-hmm.
is I stay main with my tank
Okay.
with my Reinhardt
Mm-hmm.
for the beginning of the fight, so
Mm-hmm.
I can use them to get energy.
Okay.
But once you have like a lot of charge,
Uh-huh.
you can get away from him and you can just do your own thing. You can just flank, get closer to the enemy, and get more damage done. So,
Okay.
for example, like let's say that you're playing King's Row defense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you play main. You play with your vine so that you can get like 80 charge of energy,
Mm-hmm.
and then you wait for bubble. You play slow, and then you go through like hotel and
Mm-hmm.
flank the enemy from behind,
Mm-hmm.
because it's better for you to shoot their squishy instead of shooting their tank, because it takes less time for you to kill a 200 HP target than to kill a Reinhardt, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes
So
very sense. Mm-hmm.
it's important to stay main frontline for the first part of the fight, and once you have more energy, you can play more aggressive and you can just try to hit their squishy instead.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like in this map, it can be a little bit difficult,
Mm-hmm.
but I can give you some tips. I can check your play and I can see
Yes,
tell you how to move around the map and maybe give you more damage. So
yes,
let me watch this play first
mm-hmm.
and see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so I definitely think that so far. Let's talk about your mechanics with Zarya, because I feel that you're playing a little bit too afraid with Zarya. Okay,
Okay.
um, when you have bubble, don't be afraid.
Okay.
Stay in front of the enemy. Take the damage. You have to take damage to get energy.
Mm.
The most important thing to do is to always get as much energy as possible. So, for example, when I see this play,
Mm-hmm.
you have your bubble and you have the Lucio, you have your friendly bubble, right?
Uh-huh.
Instead of bubbling yourself, you bubble this guy because you're like, oh, he might die or something because
Yeah.
he's getting shot.
Uh-huh.
So it's not a bad play, but I would much rather just, instead of looking at the Lucio, I would much rather look at this instead and do damage yourself,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
Like look at the Rhine, beam the Rhine,
Mm-hmm.
use your self bubble to take damage and just do damage. Remember, doing damage is extremely important.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a big misplay. It's just a thing that I wouldn't do this. I would
Okay.
much rather just look at the enemy and try to kill them,
Okay.
do damage to the enemy,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I see.
So for example, this right click on the sombra to me,
Mm-hmm.
it's really inefficient.
Mm-hmm.
It's really inefficient. You don't want to just right click with Zarya. You want to left click too.
Oh,
So
I see.
let me hide shot, dude, because
Uh-huh.
um you want to be left clicking people. So
Okay.
for example, in this situation,
Mm-hmm.
it's better to just look at main and just left click with them, right?
Uh-huh.
Obviously, you don't have you have your cell bubble here,
Uh-huh.
so you can just pick main, left click the Rhine, cell bubble, get the energy, and then fall back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then or you're on your next bubble rotation, you can come here instead. You come
Mm-hmm.
here with full energy,
Mm-hmm.
and now who do you have access to here? You have access to the
Hanzo.
Hanzo.
Mm-hmm.
You can potentially reach the Zen as well because you can sell bubble. You can go out,
Mm-hmm.
sell bubble, try to kill, and then fall back, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is the like the flank style that you need to play to reach the backline.
I see.
So let me see this more. See what happened. Right. So okay, it's not that bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the timing of your bubble is not the best. I think you need to play more Zarya because
Okay.
I don't think you are
Uh-huh.
your cooldowns, your timing is not that good.
Mm.
Um,
Wait, so when is the right time? Like when?
so for example here,
Uh huh.
you see how you're picking main,
Uh huh.
but what's the problem here?
No, I don't have bubble.
Exactly. So you're taking
Uh,
too much damage, right? You took
uh,
too much damage. If you're playing versus better player, I think you die there.
I see.
So for example, it's like you have to see it as if you're like dancing. For example,
Uh huh.
you use your bubbles, you push forwards.
Uh huh.
Once you have no bubble, you slow down,
Okay.
right? And then once you have your bubble again, you push more forward again,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like that's like the tempo that you need to have.
Mm-hmm.
Go forward, go back, go forward, go back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so this for me, this is not good
Mm-hmm.
because at this time you will take an insane amount of damage, like from the Zen, from the Hanzo, from the Zarya. So the timing here is not good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, the Zen missed the right click on you, but I think the Zen could have killed you there.
I see.
So you need to play more Zarya. That way you know the timing you have the cooldown of the bubble better.
Okay.
And whenever you have no bubble, like just play corners and just like jiggle pick.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
pick for a little bit, maybe right click. Be careful because you can still get one shotted by the enemy team.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you have your bubble, you can push forward. You can sow bubble. You can go to another cover. You can push and then go to here. And then once you're here, you can even like bubble jump over here,
Oh, I see.
and then
Uh-huh.
you can attack them from this angle as well.
I see.
That's a little bit too advanced.
Uh-huh.
Like that's something that you will do with time. But what's more important here is you need to understand the tempo that you need to take with the character, and this is with every character.
Mm-hmm.
Like you cannot push forwards
Mm-hmm.
if you have no cooldowns.
Okay.
If you have no cooldowns, you cannot push forwards. If you have no barrier with Reinhardt, you cannot push. You have to wait. You have to slow down and wait. If you have no bubble with Monkey, you cannot jump in because you will die.
Mm-hmm.
So wait for your bubble, wait for your cooldowns, and then once you have those, make a play. Be aggressive. Press W.
That's
Okay.
right. Uh-huh. Got it.
So let me see.
Got it.
So that's good. That's okay. We have some nice charge starting up, but
Mm-hmm.
we need to play slow, right?
That's right.
Just play slow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We have a bubble in 2 seconds. We can go in 2 seconds. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Good, good, good. Really good. Good, good job.
Uh-huh.
So this is you need to be careful here because
Uh-huh.
uh, the way that you're playing is fine,
Mm-hmm.
but this play right here
Uh-huh.
is extremely risky.
Mm.
Guess why?
Why? I mean, I would say because I'm in the open, but
You're
nobody's
in the
coming
open,
down.
but cooldowns. What did I say before?
Oh, when I don't have cooldowns, I should back out. I should play safe.
Yeah, but like the way that you played was
Uh-huh.
really fucking good. Like the beginning, Victor. Like the way that you,
Okay.
like you move. You're like, okay, I have cooldown.
Uh-huh.
Push forward, right? Push forward. Boom. It's over.
Mm.
So now you can get over here, play over here, wait for your next rotation of cooldowns, and then you can push forward again.
Mhm.
But like the fact that you push here with Dragon is not a bad idea, but if they use ultimate here, you are gonna get punished because you have no bubble. So let's see what happens. Excellent. So enemy team is not using ultimate. I don't think they have any. I mean, they have nano, they have shatter soon. They don't have any ultimate, but you got really lucky here because if the enemy have ultimate, you die. So for example, here, if you push this aggressive,
Uh-huh.
right, and this Rhine has shatter, you can get shatter, like right here,
I see what you mean. Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
You can get shatter right here. So you have obviously like you don't know you don't all track people on your rank don't all track.
Mm-hmm.
So you get punished by ultimate like a lot. Like for example, what happens if the enemy team has like grab here or shatter? They grab you, they shatter, you die because your team cannot help you,
That's
right?
right.
Um, so always um, play with your cooldowns. Go aggressive when you have them. Play defensive when you don't. Okay,
I see.
so but you're playing aggressive. Enemy team is not using ultimate. You get the skill on the hand, so really good. Going flanking on the backline, really good. This is excellent. Where's your team? Oh, they use dragon. They use dragon. Yeah. So look at this dragon. This is what I was talking about when they use ultimate. Look at what this dragon does. Right. So this dragon like stops them from like helping you. Right. I mean, I don't think the dragon does it honestly. Like they're just dealing with the sombra, I guess.
I see.
But you're playing over there. Let's see your play. Still alive. This guy gets nano. Okay, play slow. Okay, so let's look at your play a little bit more here. So I think you play that fine. The pressure on the Zen is okay. Um, I think if anything, you fall back a little bit faster because obviously you're not gonna kill the Zen anymore when he's surrounded by the team. I think one thing that's really important for you to know is before pushing forth. So you see the enemy, right?
Yeah.
Before pushing forward, look at what your team is. Where are they?
Okay. I see.
Right? Like are they like just look really fast. Like you can be here. Like look at your left side. Let's look at what happens when you start shooting the Zen here.
Mhm.
Boom. Okay. So when you make the move on the Zen, who from your team can see you? I guess Lucio can see you and Echo,
That's right.
but the other two cannot. So, and even if this guy sees you, he cannot help you because he's a fucking Lucio, right? So,
That's right.
so one thing that you can do in this situation is instead of playing this aggressive, if you see that your team is getting zoned out by the enemy team or whatever, you can come up here in the high ground, and you can play this high ground and just like pressure the backline with your right clicks or with your left click, and depending if they're close enough. And this is really really powerful because if you play up here, the Rhine cannot reach you, and their supports cannot kill you if you play up here. You're really powerful in this position, correct?
That's
So that's something that you could have done. Always try to like abuse the high ground, get on top of get on the second floor. That way you can survive more by yourself. If you play the high ground, you will just get more survivability by yourself. So your play is not that bad. It's just that I think we could have done it a little bit more safe, a more safe play. Because when you go for this play, right now the Zarya sees you, now the Rhine sees you, and now if you play up here, the Rhine doesn't do anything to you. The Zarya maybe she can shoot you, but if you have bubbles, you should be fine. And then if the backline shoots you, you can just hide from them, just in case. So I think that's something that you could have done. But I think you stay alive here for a moment until they use Nano, which the Nano fucks everything up, right? Yeah, Nano and Shatter. Right, so there's nothing you can do here anymore. It's over. Right? They use Trance, they use Shatter, they use Ultimate, so it's okay. And EMP too, so that's fine. We're gonna lose fights like that when they use ultimates.
Okay. I see.
Also, I want you to focus more on left clicking the enemy. By the way,
Oh, okay.
I want you to like shoot the enemy that's at left click range, like this, right? Don't focus too much on right clicking. Right clicking should be done when you cannot left click anything. But if you have the option to left click, always left click. Does that make sense?
Yeah, left click is the beam, right?
Yeah, the beam. Yeah, I'm gonna call it. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna call it the beam. So if you can beam someone, beam it.
Okay.
If there's no one to beam, then you can like how do you want to call the right click? Let's call it like grenade.
Grenade.
I don't know
Yeah,
this.
grenade is good.
Yeah.
Grenade is good. Yeah.
Yeah, grenade. Yeah. So when you can beam people, beam them.
Uh-huh.
If there's no one else, and if there's no one that can be beamed, then
Uh-huh.
you can right click.
Okay. Alrighty.
But the reason why beam is really good
Why?
is because beam is really efficient with ammo. It does more DPS as well, and also it's more consistent because it's hit scan. So
Okay.
you know the difference between hit scan and projectile, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Uh-huh.
hit scan characters do way more damage because it's easier for you to do damage with them. A projectile has too many factors. A projectile, basically, if you're too far away, it's more difficult. If the enemy team moves, it's more difficult. Hit scan is literally point and click. So if you want to add more damage to your kit, focusing on beaming is just way better.
Okay.
Um,
Uh-huh. Alrighty. Focusing on being.
so this is really good. Going on the backline, forcing trans, that's okay. As there's nothing else you can do, that's fine. Now, one thing, let's go back to this part.
Okay.
All right, so you have bubble here.
Uh-huh.
You have bubble. You can
Uh-huh.
come here on the in front of the enemy team. Use your cell bubble. If you do that, you are gonna create space for your Reinhardt. Your Reinhardt is gonna take less pressure, and you also will get way more energy. So you can use your cell bubble here to just keep the tempo up and make space for your team, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that you have your bubble and you don't use it,
Mm-hmm.
like you ignore it, you start like shooting this tracer, for example. I
Yeah.
think that's a misplay because this tracer is not gonna give you any charge, right? It's impossible. Like you cannot get value with your bubble here versus this tracer. She's not gonna shoot you on a 1v1. She will just ignore you and you will get no value with your ability.
I
So
see.
in my opinion, right here,
Uh-huh.
have your bubble, get over here, use your soul bubble, make space for your Reinhardt, get energy,
Uh-huh.
and just increase the tempo of your team.
Okay, I see.
Overall, you wanna always make sure that you do as many abilities as possible, because the more abilities that you use, the more advantages you make for your team. It's like putting more resources. If you
Mm-hmm.
if you play a character that's not using abilities, are you gonna do more than a character that's using abilities?
No.
No,
Yeah.
obviously not.
That's right.
So you wanna make sure that you get more cooldowns up, because that will give you more advantages on the long run,
I see.
right? It's like an investment. If you invest more into your abilities,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna just be winning more and more and more. You're gonna do more damage. You're gonna soak more damage. You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna just get more value from your time.
Okay.
So it's
Alrighty.
really important to always keep a flow of resources
Okay.
so you can increase your advantages.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what happens here. All right. Elusa took the bubble, but still winnable. What sense do you play with, Victor? What's your sensitivity?
4.5. 4.5, 800. Oh, 4.5 in game, 800, and
DPI.
800 DPI, sorry, yeah.
All right, so that's like 4.5. Okay, so you play with like 225 if you're playing with 1600 DPI. Your sensitivity is really low.
Oh, okay. Look.
I think your sense is a little bit too low.
Mhm.
It's not a big deal. It's not that big of a thing, but one thing that can be a problem, and this is in particular when in a game like Overwatch, right?
Uh-huh.
In particular when you're playing tanks, or when you're playing supports, most of the time you're shooting enemy that are all over the place, right? When they're in front of you, above you,
Mhm.
behind you,
Mhm.
uh, under you, right? Like they're all over the place. So having lower DPI or lower sensitivity, sorry,
Mhm.
it can affect the way that you react to things, because it's gonna take you a lot of time to go
Mm.
from point A to point B,
I see.
right?
Uh-huh.
In a game like Valorant, for example, or if you're playing a hit scan,
Uh-huh.
even as hit scan, I wouldn't recommend that you play with lower DPS. At least not Overwatch.
Uh-huh.
in a game like Valorant, do you have you played Valorant before or
Yeah, I played
CS?
Valorant. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you know in those games, where are you looking most of the time?
Uh,
In front of you.
in front of you.
Enemy is
Okay.
always in front of you,
That's
correct?
right.
Like they're
Uh-huh.
always in front of you. They cannot really rarely an enemy is gonna be just coming from the sky or coming from behind,
All right.
right?
Uh-huh.
Like really rarely that happens.
Uh-huh.
So in Overwatch that's not the case because you play versus tracers and fucking Pharas and Genjis and
Yeah.
Hanzo in the ceiling, right?
Uh-huh.
So I would suggest to maybe increase your sensitivity if you plan to play tank,
Okay.
um, because you need to have this movement. You need to have like this increasing flow in your character.
Mm-hmm.
This might lower your hit scan mechanics, like when you're playing Zarya, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But this is gonna help you just be more aware of what's happening because I do notice right here in this
Uh-huh.
parts,
Uh-huh.
like you notice how when you move your mouse or when you're looking around,
Uh-huh.
it looks like it's really heavy.
Yeah.
Like it looks like it's really heavy, like the hands are shooting you on the top, right here,
Uh-huh.
right? He's like on top of the place,
Uh-huh.
but like because you're I don't know, you're like you don't want to move your mouse because it's too heavy. You don't even pay attention to him. You know, it's that's how it feels, or
Uh-huh.
that's how it feels to me.
Uh-huh.
Like you're only shooting stuff that's in front of you, right? The tracer's shooting you here,
Uh-huh.
right? You can turn to her, right click her, melee, and you can probably kill her if she has no recall.
Uh-huh.
But because you obviously your sense is too low,
Uh-huh.
it might be difficult for you to do that, right?
I see.
So increase it for a little bit more.
Okay.
Maybe go for how much you said you had? 4.5.
4.5 a DPI. Uh-huh.
Okay. Maybe go for like hmm, I want to say 4.5 is really low. Let me see, because
Uh-huh.
if I transform my sense to yours,
Uh-huh.
I'm currently playing with like when I play DPS,
Uh-huh.
I play with 2.5 1600. So
Whoa. Uh-huh.
that would be like 5, right?
Okay.
800.
Okay.
So imagine you have 4.5, dude.
Uh-huh.
So it's even your sense is even lower than that.
Oh.
And my heat scan sense is like really low already. Like it's low enough. Like I've seen like contenders players and Overwatch League players,
Uh-huh.
DPS players that play with like my sensitivity. Um, so you're going even lower than that. I don't think
Wow.
it's worth it.
Okay.
Especially if you try to play tank, I think you can increase it a little bit more. I think instead of going, try like if you think 5 might be a little bit too much,
Okay.
maybe start with like 480, but try to increase it to 5 at least.
Okay.
Try to go for like a 5 with 800 DPI and see how you feel.
Okay.
Again,
Yeah.
don't feel discouraged right away
Uh-huh.
because obviously you're not gonna be as consistent with that sense. It's gonna take
Yeah.
time for you to adjust.
That's right.
But okay, let's talk about this ultimate here.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you grab here?
Oh, I was trying to get the momentum. Yeah. Like since everybody
Okay.
is like moving up, I was like, oh, let's get that.
Okay. So you try to like keep the tempo, keep the momentum.
Uh-huh.
Um, okay. Now, what can I tell you? Like,
Uh-huh.
even if you get a kill here because you have pulse bomb,
Uh-huh.
what if I tell you this is a bad graph, you wouldn't believe it, but it
Mm.
is a really bad graph.
Oh.
So you will kill with this graph. You will kill one person, and we're only gonna kill one person,
Uh-huh.
and we're using graph and pulse bomb. So do you think killing that one person is gonna give you a lot of advantage? I don't think so
No.
because your team is not even there.
Mm-hmm.
Enemy team is everybody's here. So let's let it play, and I will tell you when it's better to grab here.
Okay.
All right. So that's exactly what happened. So tell me, if I tell you when you grab and pulse bomb,
Uh-huh.
is that a good combo for you to just get multiple kills? You should say yes, right?
Yes.
Like you should be getting like 2 to 3 kills, right?
That's right.
Or you should be able to clean the fight after.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, you use two ultimate and two really good ultimate like Grav is insane.
Hmm.
To just kill one person, is that worth it?
No, it's not
No,
worth it. No, I think it will.
obviously not.
Uh-huh.
Right? So how can we make this better? Okay.
Uh-huh.
So what you need to do is when you use ultimates in this game, and this is where every ultimate, not only Zarya, not only um, fucking Reinhardt, whatever.
Hmm.
When you use ultimate, you need to make sure that the enemy team is as close as possible as your team. So there has to be both teams need to be really really close to each other.
Hmm.
Does
Got
that
it.
make sense?
Yeah, because I'll have like my support, like all my team doing the damage, and they're gonna be right together in one place. Like we are gonna focus in one area, right?
Yeah.
That's
Like
pretty good.
the most important thing is like
Hmm.
if you use your ultimate when your team is close,
Hmm.
then your team is gonna follow up on your ultimate,
Hmm.
and they're gonna be able to just get damage done and finish the kills.
Okay.
So for example, if we look at this, right? If we look at this graph, look at this Reinhardt here. So this Reinhardt,
Uh-huh.
he's at half HP,
Uh-huh.
right? So imagine if your Baptiste, if your Hanzo, and if your Reinhardt are killing this guy when this is happening. He dies,
He dies. That's
right?
right. Uh-huh.
So this graph is too early of a graph. Like in order for you to use ultimate, just wait for the teams to be really close to each other,
Hmm.
right? Like when you see your Rhine kissing the other Rhine,
Uh-huh.
that's perfect time for graph,
All
right?
right. Sounds good.
S-
Uh-huh.
So just wait for both teams to be really close to each other and then use the ultimate. And this is for every ultimate in the game,
Okay.
okay?
Uh-huh.
Every ultimate, DPS ultimate, tank ultimate,
Hmm.
the closer the teams are together, the more value the ultimate will get.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay. Hmm.
So
Got it.
let's fast forward here, and I will tell you when it will be a good ultimate. Like here, for example, if you grab here,
Uh-huh.
this is way better because everybody is looking at the graph, right?
I see.
Everybody can see who you're grabbing, everybody can see who you shatter,
Uh-huh.
etc., etc. So does that make sense?
Yeah. Hmm. Got
Okay.
it. Yeah. That would have been so much better because it would have gotten. Oh, the follow up. The follow up would have been huge.
Yeah,
That's
and like look, even after this grab pulse bomb kill, like look, it doesn't even feel that we won the fight.
yeah, they just
Like
push
they're
it.
still pushing forward, right?
Uh-huh, that's right.
So it's not it was not a good grab,
Hmm.
and it's really important for you to have good ultimates when you play because ultimate is what's gonna give you the most consistent win condition in this game. Because ultimates are easy to do,
Hmm.
right?
That's
It's
right.
really easy to use ultimates in this game. Like you press Q and stuff dies,
Hmm.
right? So if you waste your ultimates, you're wasting your most consistent win condition. So
Hmm.
so this is when you gave up already with Zarya. But you gave up already?
yeah, I gave up. Literally, how I did give up.
Okay, well, this is definitely something that I wouldn't recommend. Okay,
Right.
um,
Uh-huh.
I think I don't think Hog is a character that he can carry you on games where because he's a mechanical intensive character. He's if you have good mechanics with Hog,
Hmm.
you can just hook people and get kills and give advantages to your team.
Hmm.
But when the enemy team punishes the Hog, it's gonna be extremely difficult for you to get away with it. So I would suggest for you to stay away from Hog.
Okay.
And
Oh,
if you're so you did mention that you have problems with Hog players, right?
yeah. Big
Okay.
time. Yeah.
So if you want to do a good job versus Hog,
Hmm.
you want to have if you're playing tank and you wanna shit on the Hog,
Yeah.
if you are playing main tank, the best main tank versus Hog is Orisa.
Okay.
And this is why I say like you might not like what I'm gonna say
Hmm.
because not a lot of people like playing Orisa, and I agree. I mean
That's
she's
true.
gonna Resident Sleeper, but and you might not know how to play her.
Hmm.
But Orisa is pretty much like one of the hardest counters of Hog in the game because you have a barrier,
Hmm.
you have a shield, you have a barrier, and you also have gold as well. Uh, and on top of that, Hog is a really easy character to shoot. So if you pull him and you shoot him, you are gonna force vape, and it's just you just farm the hog really really easily. Um, so yeah, Orisa is the best.
Mm-hmm.
If you're playing off tank, maybe try Zarya. Zarya is not a bad choice versus hog,
Mm-hmm.
because every time he hooks something, you can try to bubble it.
Okay.
If he hooks you, you can try to bubble it as well to block it.
Mm-hmm.
And the cooldown of the bubbles is really close to the hook cooldown as well. So it's like it's really easy to shut him down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the best things that you can do. I wouldn't go hog versus hog because if you hook him first,
Uh-huh.
he's just gonna kill you anyways. So
Yeah.
it's really stupid.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna just fast forward this,
Okay.
um, and we're gonna just check the defense here. So you just play hog after this.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah.
This is definitely not good, Victor.
Yeah.
Do you wanna see your hog gameplay, or you wanna just check another replay?
We can check on our replays so we can get more value. Yeah. Let me. I play a couple. Let me see here.
Yeah, try to give me another one,
Yeah.
please.
Let me show this one real quick. But yeah, Ryan and Sar. The Sar right now, thank you. All that is actually really useful. And yeah, I know I haven't been playing her as much as Ryan. Um, Definitely.
Try to increase your sensitivity a little bit more.
I will.
Play with it. Play with it.
Uh-huh.
Lower sensitivity usually only benefits from like hit scam players,
Uh-huh.
and even then, it's really difficult to justify it because of how fast the game is, how
Mm-hmm.
many angles you need to move your mouse around. It's really difficult. So
I see.
um, increase your sense a little bit more and play with it.
Alright.
Do you have any questions about the Zarya though?
Uh, no, I think I can apply all those like right away. I think those are really good points that I like micro that I definitely definitely like don't I'm not thinking about that when I'm playing, sorry. Like I usually focus on that bubble and I usually get like zero energy like you saw. Um
Yeah, if frontline at the beginning,
uh-huh,
frontline with your tank
uh-huh.
to get energy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then after that, you can deviate and just go for more aggressive plays. But every time you go for aggressive play,
Mm-hmm.
remember you have cooldowns, right? Before pushing forward, make sure that you have your cooldowns ready because you don't want to get punished by ultimates, or you don't want to just get punished by over aggressing and not having a defensive plan.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to pay a lot of attention to your cooldowns before going in. And this is where every tank as well. We're gonna see your Reinhardt play here.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you remember from this match?
Yes, the oh shoot, this is a bad one. I switched to Roadhog on this one. But the Roadhog, like kind of just, rolled me. Like, I think, like, he was making so much more damage than me. Like, he was getting picks faster. And there were so many people, like, close here. I got their
Yeah, well,
DPS, so I thought, oh, I can get now their other DPS. Because usually their DPS are the ones that, like, roll me. So I'm like, let me take care
yeah.
of it.
So,
Uh-huh.
so let's remember what I said about. Do you remember what I said at the beginning of the session?
Mm-hmm.
When you play a tank,
Uh-huh.
what's like your main objective when you play a tank? Like what's how do you win fights in Overwatch?
Damage. More
Not
damage.
much.
Uh-huh.
Perfect.
Uh-huh.
Because not much leads to kills, and kills lead to just wins, right? Like you
Mm-hmm.
just win the fight if you get an advantage.
That's right.
So let's look at the enemy team comp here
Mm-hmm.
and tell me who can you melee this? Like who can Ryan kill in this comp while you're playing?
Very hardly the end, but yeah, none of they're all range. They're all range.
Yeah,
Like,
they
very
have
hard.
speed, and
Uh-huh.
also the Diana has speed as well with Lucio too.
Then I
So
can't get it. Yeah.
the speed, the Bastion can play Narnia and just destroy you.
Yeah.
The Genji, you can do good versus Genji, but he can still like kaiju really well. Obviously, you cannot kill the Hulk because he's unkillable.
Uh-huh.
And Monkey, you can destroy Monkey for sure.
Uh-huh.
But we're really limited with the amount of characters that we can pressure,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, eh, the ideal characters that we should be playing,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, this is the first fight. This is the first fight. The game just started. So it's really difficult for you to just, you know, make this adjustment because you don't know what they're going to run. But I'm just going to be completely honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan is not a good character,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
Ryan is not a character that he gets counter really, really easily, extremely easily.
Okay.
You can get away with playing Ryan sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
If you play Ryan on an optimal situation for him, when they're playing like really close quarters characters like May or Cassidy or um, Reinhardt, Zarya,
Mm-hmm.
when they're playing like a lot of close quarters character that you can swing on, then yeah, Ryan is really good. It's not bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
But when that's not the case, you will struggle a lot, right? You
Mm-hmm.
will struggle a lot. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so, for example, if this was me playing,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I can tell my support to go Ana, like my Baptiste to go Ana,
Mm-hmm.
because we have Ana Genji, and then I will go Monkey, right?
I
And
see.
think about Monkey playing versus their comp. Monkey's not bad,
It's
right?
not bad. Yeah.
With Monkey, you can reach the Genji, you can reach the Ana, you can
Uh-huh.
reach the Lucio. Obviously, the Bastion can destroy you, but you can play around it really well. You
Okay.
can LOS it,
Uh-huh.
play smart. The Hog destroys you with Monkey,
Mm-hmm.
but you can run away from him. You can kite it. You can jump away from him. You can play around him,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
I see.
So let's look at this. Um, I think also if you want to play Rhine,
Mm-hmm.
the bare minimum that you can have
Uh-huh.
is you need to have Bap, and you also need to have Lucio as well,
Got it.
because Lucio is gonna allow you to just get in there and just do damage yourself. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Um, look at this. Let's look at this. Just the first seconds of the fight. Like, look at this. So you by a miracle you get that swing on the Genji, right? So we're getting some swing on the monkey. Diana just leaves you charging in. This guy is crazy that he doesn't see you.
Yeah, but then the
It just
hog. Uh-huh.
yeah, it's just really silly, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't think the Bastion shouldn't even let you do that, right? But obviously because it's lower rank,
Uh-huh.
people don't react to you really well.
Uh-huh.
Um, but now we win the Hog, and Hog doesn't really fix. The only thing that Hog does
Mm-hmm.
is Hog is a character that you just stay alive more,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Like it's really easy to stay alive with Hog, correct? Like that's why a lot of people like playing him is because um, you can stay alive with him like for way longer. But again, staying alive is not important. What's important is what?
Damage.
Getting kills,
That's right.
right? Getting damage, getting kills, and like I mean, look at this. Like what's going on, dude? Like, and it's not your fault, obviously. Like playing Hog is not easy.
Uh-huh.
It's not easy to do, but also your Hog sensitivity is probably like really low as well, correct? It's
That's
like the
right.
same.
Yeah, the same.
Yeah, this is another thing. Like you need to increase your sensitivity, man, because like you need to be able to like if the Genji dashes behind you, right? Like
Uh-huh.
let me look at this.
Uh-huh.
So like I'm currently playing. My tank sense is way higher. It's 1603. So it's like if you're playing with
800.
six,
Oh,
right?
wow. Okay. Sheesh.
Yeah. So my tank sense it's usually higher.
Huh?
Yeah, like my DPS is 2.4, which is usually what you have.
Okay.
But with tanks is like you will notice it's a three, three.
Mm-hmm.
What am I, Zarya? Three as well.
Okay.
Wrecking Ball three. Winston three.
Mm-hmm.
My DPS is the only one that's like
Lower.
lower sense,
Yeah, I
right?
see.
And
Uh-huh.
even then, it's still higher sense than you, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Uh, but basically, like if you're playing a character like Hog, for example,
Uh-huh.
or Reinhardt or whatever the fuck,
Uh-huh.
like let's say that you're playing the Genji. The Genji is like right in front of you,
Uh-huh.
right? You're shooting him, and then he dashes. Like you see how fast that is,
Yeah,
you know?
that's
He
right.
dashes, boom, you go for like the hook play. But when you with the sense that you have, where is he? You have 4.5. You said right.
Uh-huh. 4.5, 800 DP.
So that's like So it's like this
Yeesh. Okay.
with my DPI.
Uh-huh.
So let me. I can still do it. Actually, it's not that bad.
Oh.
Doesn't feel that bad honestly, but it's definitely way more work.
Yeah, it's
It's
more.
way more work to do for sure.
Uh-huh.
Like I notice, obviously, like I have a very a fast mouse pad and a
Mm.
really lightweight mouse as well, so it
Oh.
helps me.
Uh-huh.
But it definitely requires like way more work, and this can also like this can also um,
Oh.
make you more tired as well because you're
Mm.
always aiming with lower sense. This can make you like more tired.
Oh.
Um, but yeah, I would suggest to increase your
Okay.
sensitivity
Yeah.
and give it a shot and see what you feel about it.
Hmm.
What mouse do you currently use?
The G305.
Oh, you're a G305 user.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're using a little bit of a heavier mouse as well.
Oh.
I have a G305 as well,
Oh,
right?
sweet. Uh-huh.
Well, I don't use it anymore, but I
Oh.
have it. I
Yes.
used it at some point. Um, but the G305, I think it's like, do you have a lithium battery or normal battery?
Lithium battery.
Yeah, lithium battery. I think with lithium it's like 90 something grams.
Uh-huh.
Uh, my mouse right now, I use a lot of mice, but the one that I'm using at this moment is the G Pro wireless.
Uh-huh.
I think it's like 69 grams wireless. So there's a big difference in weight, right?
That's
If you
right.
notice.
Yeah, that's kind of
Um,
big.
and
Uh-huh.
so obviously I'm using a lighter mouse. My mouse pad is also really fast as well. I also use mouse feed, PTFE mouse feed. Do you have PTFE mouse feed or do you use
No.
stock mouse feed?
What is that?
It's like the mouse feed that the G305 has for default
Uh-huh.
is like an older version of mouse feed. Like newer mice right now
Uh-huh.
are using PTFE mouse feed, which is like just more smoother, faster mouse feed. You
Oh.
can get new mouse feed for the G305
Okay.
PTFE.
How do I get that?
Um, I mean, you have to buy them from like Amazon or. Are you from the
Oh.
U.S.?
I'm from the yeah. Well, I was born in Peru, but yeah, I am. I live in the U.S. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Uh-huh.
you can buy them on Amazon.
Uh-huh.
Let me try to search some for you real quick.
Oh yeah, please.
The G305 is an amazing mouse.
Oh, thanks.
It's an amazing mouse. Let me see. PTFE 305. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm. TFE.
Yeah, so something like this.
What is? Yeah, wait. Did you send it to me?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you.
Oh,
I'm gonna post it on Discord.
sweet.
Also, another thing is the G305 is legit. It was my favorite mouse shape. I just love it.
Uh-huh.
But there's a better G305 nowadays, which is this one.
Which one?
And let me get it to you. So if you plan of getting a kind of like an upgrade to the G305, this is a recommendation here.
What would it be? Yeah.
It's an amazing mouse. Like this mouse is insane,
Which?
and it comes with the mouse shape is really similar. Like it feels almost exactly the same as the G305.
Uh-huh.
The advantages is that it's lighter,
Okay.
so that's one advantage. I think with a lithium battery, you can get it to like 70 grams. I think 74 grams or something,
Whoa.
which is way lighter than the G305. And also on top of that, um,
Mm-hmm.
it has like different mouse clicks, which to me they sound better. They feel better. It's like the mouse clicks feel more like clicky, and it's just like more satisfaction for me. So this is
Okay.
another mouse that you can try to get, and it's really really good.
All right.
Um,
Thank you.
like this is like what I consider the upgrade of the G305. So
Yeah.
the Razer
Ooh.
Orochi.
Okay. Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah. No, I like these. I'll definitely. I think I'm gonna get that one probably. Yeah, yeah. I'll get the Orochi. Sound looks pretty good actually. So I'll get
it's
that.
amazing, dude. It's amazing. Just make sure that you get
Uh-huh.
some like lithium batteries.
Uh-huh.
You can either get double A or triple A. You can put double A or triple A in it,
Oh.
uh, which
Uh-huh.
is really good. Obviously, the triple A is lighter,
Uh-huh.
but it lasts less. So you have to
Mm.
replace it more frequently,
I see.
right?
Uh-huh.
So,
It's pretty cool.
anyways, try to lower your sensitivity,
Mm-hmm.
or sorry, increase your sensitivity a little bit. See
Mm-hmm.
if it makes it feel a little bit better. Because I do notice that we are whenever the enemy is like really close to you,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like you're like struggling. You're like it feels like you have like a hard time just moving your camera around, and that's never good.
I see. I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah. Well, actually, can I have one because this is I think the rest of it is hog. I have
So
with the little
yeah,
time we have, we could do maybe some sigma because I think I remember one
yeah,
that's
sounds good.
sigma. Yeah.
Sounds good, man.
Let me find it real quick. Yeah, this is it. Because yeah, I really want to like include sigma on because now my sorry, I think you just elevated her quite a bit. Um, and overall like awareness, but I think I also want some just like Saria with the Sigma, because Sigma is also like you said, right, a lot of range, because that's usually what happens is like when the DPS gets like outranged, and I feel like I could do way more with a ranged character.
Yeah, Sigma is really powerful in Overwatch One in general. Um, in particular, if you play in NA,
Mm-hmm.
Sigma is really good because of Sigma only struggles versus like dive characters. So when they have Monkey, Genji, Tracer,
Mm-hmm.
Sigma is really bad there.
Okay.
But in NA, people don't play that. Like in NA, people mostly play like Rhine and spam, like double shield or Reinhardt based compositions.
Mm-hmm.
So Sigma is really really good in that situation. So for example, versus what you are playing right now,
Uh-huh.
Sigma is really really good. Like he's not bad.
Uh-huh.
He's obviously Genji can destroy you in the 1v1.
Uh-huh.
Like if you don't land the rock, like the Genji can farm you really well, but that's not gonna happen. Most of the time he's gonna play like really really afraid of you.
Okay.
But if the enemy team is playing like a lot of dive character,
Uh-huh.
then maybe not play Sigma, maybe play something else. So
Gotcha.
Sigma is a character that you can work on from now and onward
Mm-hmm.
and just be consistent and successful as long as they're not running dive. If they're running like Diva Monkey,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's time to change from Sigma. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
maybe go Diva at that time
I
if
see.
you're playing off tank.
Okay.
Um, because Diva does way better versus that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So right now, yeah, like I mean, if we look at this,
Mm-hmm.
like we are doing damage, right? Which is the most important thing, right? Like just doing damage. This is why Sigma works really well. It's really easy to do damage with him.
Mm. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that.
Okay. So the Genji is doing work behind us.
Yeah.
Alright. Where is he? Yeah. So our ball dies and then our Doom dies. Let's see how you can be. Let's see if you can do more damage here.
Okay.
Okay. So the first thing is,
Uh-huh.
you're late to this fight, right?
Yeah.
You're really late to this fight because you're AFK or something.
Yeah.
So that's obviously that's not good.
Okay.
Overall, you want to make sure that you start like right here, so you can start doing damage from this corner.
Mm-hmm.
If you see them that they're running a lot of dive,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's time for you to don't play here. If they're running dive, don't play here. Fall back to your team, and then if they're not playing dive, you can just play up here and literally just shoot them for free.
Okay.
You can just shoot them from the high ground.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Once the payload like pushes more, you can fall back to like this position, or you can even play like this position. Um, but you should be doing damage like all this time. Like imagine you starting up here, right?
Right.
Like imagine you just being here. Like this Genji doesn't do this, for example. If he
Mm,
does this, like you can rock him and maybe kill him.
yeah.
You can just shoot the Sigma for free. You can shoot the back line. Like you can be doing way more damage
Yeah.
if you play up here. But obviously because you're late, you're not doing that. So that's a big misplay,
Mhm.
right? You're losing like you're losing Qs, you're losing damage, you're losing ultimate charge by just being late. So just try not to be late next time.
Mhm. I see. Mhm. Gotcha.
All right, so right here, for example, right here, you have full resources.
Uh-huh.
You have full resources. What do I mean by full resources? Let's look at your cooldowns and everything. So we have full shield, we have matrix, and we don't have rock, but we almost have it.
Mhm.
So what you should be what should you do with full resources?
Push and damage.
Push
Yeah.
and use them,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
Use them, push, so that we can do more damage,
Mhm.
right? So if you notice here, like we're not using anything.
No.
We're playing as if okay, we finally used the shield, but our this guy's dead already. So
Uh-huh.
if we have resources, make sure that we use them, right? Start using them and start uh, providing pressure to the enemy team, doing more damage, getting your damage, etc., etc.
Mhm.
So if you notice during this time, it's been like a minute.
Uh-huh.
It's been a minute almost, and you use your matrix for the first time,
Right. Mhm.
right? So that's not good. You could have gotten like 2 to 3 matrices at least, right?
I see.
During
Yeah.
all that time,
That's
and
right.
soaking more damage and getting that value over there.
Mhm.
So we're just not using the abilities at all,
I see.
right? And then you swap to Hog already. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you cannot just give up like that immediately, man. Like, dude, especially like look at your ultimate as well.
Uh-huh.
You're so close to Flux too.
Uh-huh.
I feel that every time you die to a Hog,
Yeah.
like you just go Hog.
I'm telling you, it's like I just don't like to get destroyed. Like I don't know, maybe it's an ego thing, but they just get a lot of ground on me. Like I feel like how do I stop him as a tank from my teammates like walking into his hook? Like
I
that
mean,
you see
obviously,
it?
like yeah,
Yeah.
obviously, like during this fight where you died,
Uh huh.
right? Like he's doing work, he- he's doing work behind.
Uh huh.
But we have to be honest. Like you could be doing more in the front line, right? Like for
Right.
example, if you play this first defense better and you play correctly, if you're not late,
Right.
there's a really high chance that you could have gotten a kill over here,
Uh huh.
or just do more damage in general,
That's right.
leading you to get your flukes, and then with your flukes you can maybe get a kill. You can win the fight with it, right?
That's right.
So obviously you're not playing optimally to begin
I
with.
see.
And yeah, the hog is really oppressive,
Uh huh.
but he's not the main reason why you're losing this fight. You didn't play perfect. You
Perfect.
didn't play good.
Gotcha. I
You could
see.
have done this way better.
I see.
So yeah, I mean, I know what you're coming from, but you have to see like all of this. You have to see like all the situations. Are like, oh shit, no, me's right. I wasn't even like in a proper position at the beginning of the fight.
Right.
I could have gotten more damage in, maybe get a kill, swing the fight in our favor. Um, and the only thing you're thinking about is, oh, I want to shit on this hog, right?
That's right.
So
Yeah. Uh
and like if you really want to destroy the hog,
huh.
like even with a character like Sigma, you can still pressure him. You can shoot him. You can block the hook with your shield. You can rock the heals. Like you can look at him and pressure him,
Right.
right?
Uh huh.
But during that time, you didn't do that until you were already dead, right?
Right.
Like the fight was already over when that happened.
That's right.
So I don't think this is like something that that you should do. Like if they're playing hog,
Uh huh.
let them play hog, right?
Uh
I'm not saying that you shouldn't play hog,
huh.
but don't just like go hog immediately. Like play the game a little bit more, right? Like play the game more,
Uh huh.
learn more. Hog is just a comfort pick,
Uh huh. Oh,
right? And I told you before, like the reason why people go hog is because he's like really easy to play. He's
yeah.
simple. He's really survivable. Um, and yeah, I mean that's understandable, right? Like look at this. You just press E and you're chilling, right?
Yeah, that's
Like look,
right.
and but this doesn't mean that he's a good character. No, it's just like he's just easy to play. He's a comfortable character.
Yeah.
But you can do all this with other characters too, with better, more efficient characters. But yeah, it's more difficult. It requires more thinking
I see.
and more finesse.
I see.
So you can still keep playing Hog, but don't give up after first fight. Give it a shot, right? Like give it a chance. Play better. Learn how to play better,
Hmm.
and don't be a Hog player because especially if are you planning on playing Overwatch 2?
I was planning on play. Yeah, a bit, but not as maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure about it because I want to finish Overwatch One. To me, my mind is in Overwatch One, like fully Overwatch One, and then after I'll check it out first and then see if I like Overwatch Two.
Yeah, because Overwatch 1 is probably gonna disappear, dude.
Yeah,
Once
that's
Overwatch
right.
2 comes out.
Yeah, that's why.
So,
Yeah.
so I'm like, okay, well, Hog is not a good character in Overwatch 2. He's
Oh,
horrible.
he's horrible.
He's he's really bad. He's
Oh,
really really bad.
okay.
Uh, so you're not gonna have that option anymore. If you play Hog in Overwatch 2, you're handicapping your team so much,
Sheesh. Okay,
so
that's good
much.
to know. Yeah, I won't play him anymore. Now you say that, like, if I'm gonna be handicapping me on the next game, what would I learn that here? Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean like honestly, like if you think about if you go Hog all the time, you're never gonna learn other character, right? The only situation where I would say like go Hog
Mhm.
is if Hog was actually like hard meta broken.
Mm.
I think Hog is really good in competitive play,
Uh-huh.
like I said, because it's kind of like a band-aid fix for bad tank play.
Mhm.
If you're a bad tank player,
Uh-huh.
just go Hog, because with Hog you can survive by you can survive by itself, and then if you land one or two hooks,
Mhm.
fuck it, like you win the fight, right?
Yeah, that's right.
But but that doesn't sound good though. Like if I tell you that if you want to just go Hog because he's easy,
Uh-huh.
that's not good, bro. Because
Mm.
you want to be good in fundamentals.
I
You
see.
want to be good in every tank.
Uh-huh.
You want to be a good Winston. You want to be a good Zarya.
That's right.
You want to be a good Diva.
Exactly.
And those characters are way more difficult to master,
Mhm.
but they will give you more. They will open up more venues in the future,
Mhm.
right? Than just like playing Hog, right?
Mhm.
Because Hog is really easy, dude. He's not hard at all. He's not difficult. He's really unga bunga. Um,
Okay.
if you're a top 500 Hog player,
Uh-huh.
like that doesn't tell a lot, dude. Like that's not impressive.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's not impressive, right? Like that's not
I see
like you're
what
not
you
gonna
mean.
get Overwatch League by being a Hog one trick, right? Like only like I said, only if Hog was meta.
Okay.
Like if I think like Hog was like hard meta where he needs to be played on every game,
Uh-huh.
then yeah, I guess that's a justifiable, right?
Uh-huh.
But he's not. He's not on that situation.
I see.
Like I said, the only reason why Hog is good is because he's a band-aid to bad tanks.
Mm.
If you're a bad tank, then go Hog and you're not gonna die. You're not dying. You will stay alive and you will just get hooks and shit,
Yeah.
etc. etc.
Right.
But but yeah,
Yeah. No, I
you
agree
wanna
with you
you have
definitely.
another replay, dude?
Yeah, I think I have one.
Oh, you play Ryan here. Wait.
Oh,
You play
you.
Ryan
Oh,
actually here.
sweet, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I switched up a bit. I think I go monkey at some point in this one.
Well, yeah, you should definitely go monkey here
Yeah, I think I do.
because
Why?
because the map has a lot of high ground,
Ah.
right? The map has a lot of high ground. So, h- what do we need to do again? What's our objective in the game? What do we need to do?
Damage. Always
Damage.
damage.
How do you do damage to the enemy team in this map with
You
Ryan?
gotta get with Ryan. That's I have to go all the way around and get to the
It
high
takes too
ground
much
point.
time, right?
That's right. Yeah.
It takes too much time. You can do it, but you have to be extremely creative,
Mm,
right?
I see.
So how do you do it here? Ob- like it's really hard.
Yeah.
Like look at the amount of damage. Obviously, like I also don't like the fact that you're AFK when the game starts. Like I don't like that. You need to stop doing that,
Gotcha.
right, Victor? Like that, you're trolling a little bit here, too
My
much.
bad. Yeah. No. Sorry. My bad.
But
Uh,
but it's really important to like
Uh-huh.
Just look at the ultimates here. Just look at the old percentages.
Uh-huh.
Look at our monkey. How much damage did our monkey did?
Wow, yeah.
Right,
That's
43%, and you're at 9%. So
oh,
who's not doing something here? Obviously, you're not
yeah.
doing. Even our Lucio has more damage than you,
Oh no, yeah,
right?
I see. 17%.
Right.
Uh-huh, I see.
So that doesn't look good on you. So in this case, if you already have a monkey and you want to play around your monkey, you can maybe try Diva. You can try Zarya is a little bit iffy on this map too. So I think just going Diva will be the best play and just practice Diva. But I don't think you play Diva at all, right?
Only when my monkey is carrying, I pull him out. Like when my monkey
Okay,
you
well,
see on the CV, but that's very rare. I think I haven't pulled her. No, I don't play
yeah,
it nearly as much. Like I know how to peel. I do peel with her, but that's I don't know any tech. I just yeah. No, I
yeah.
haven't pulled that.
If you I mean, if you play Diva, you can just play with your monkey and just like pocket him.
Okay.
Like especially when they play like if you notice they have a lot of characters that can shut down your monkey,
Mhm.
like the hog and the McCree
Mhm.
and the brig.
Uh-huh.
So because they can get shut down, because they can shut down your monkey, with Diva you can pocket your monkey so that you can make space for them. Like you can just make enable your monkey to not get flashed, or if he gets hooked, you can matrix him, for example.
I see.
Like you can help him survive this thing. So if
Mhm.
you just play with your monkey, like that's a lot better. But again, going back to the original thing, it's pretty much like a minute 20, and you're at 35% ultimate charge.
Yeah, that's right.
So how much damage is that?
Zero. Yeah, not a lot.
That's like a really low amount, right?
Yeah.
So
I see.
we need to be thinking about that. Reinhardt, if it is a map that has a lot of high ground, then don't play Reinhardt. You can play Reinhardt in King's Road. You can play Reinhardt in Control Center, in the King of the Hill map.
Mhm.
On those like flat maps where there's not a lot of high ground, you can play Reinhardt. It's okay. But if it is a lot of high ground, then you need to be changing your strategy.
Got it. Mhm. Sounds good. Alrighty. Sorry here.
All right.
No cooldown, so
Be careful because they nano. Nice. Good bubbles. No bad, no bad. All right, no bad. Good damage. All right, not bad. All right, so we were able to get a nice amount of damage coming in. We almost have our grab with like 30% off. Obviously, like this was like your first life with Zarya, correct?
yeah, that's
So
right.
that's not even bad, considering it was just one life. So imagine if you do similar result, but you started from the beginning. You play Zarya from the beginning. Maybe this fight you already have grab, and if you grab this fight, maybe the outcome is different, right?
I see.
So let's see what happens now. Okay, so that's a little bit too aggressive, right?
Oh, I see.
So you use your bubble.
Uh-huh.
After this, you should bubble here. First of all, you should bubble here because if the shield dies, obviously they're shooting the barrier.
Right.
So a lot of damage is happening. So you should bubble faster. It takes you like look how fast your bubble gets destroyed,
Yeah.
right?
Move.
So
Uh-huh.
you need to look at their comp, and you're like, okay, they have a fucking Zen Hanzo
Uh-huh.
and Cassidy. Yeah, they have a lot of spam damage.
Uh-huh.
So just make sure that you just use your bubble and get the energy and then fall back. Don't keep on pushing.
Okay.
Because I think you were surprised of how fast your bubble died
Yeah.
there.
I was like, what the? I get disappeared in that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of insane, but that's a little bit of a feat there.
Okay, yeah, it is.
Because
It is.
so you're playing slow, waiting for the bubbles,
Yeah. Let's see this guy.
beaming the hog, nice. Good bubble, good bubble. Okay, this guy's dead. We can grab this. I will follow up on it. This guy has shatter soon, I think.
I survived. Somehow we did
Not
that.
bad. Not bad, not bad. I mean, the grab help a lot there,
Okay.
right? The grab help a lot. So
Because they were all together, right? Like, and my team
yeah,
was
I
looking
mean,
at
the
me.
grab allowed the grab allow your team to keep up the pressure there on the enemy team. So, but obviously, I think the main thing or the biggest change that I've seen so far is you need to compare like the amount of pressure that you're doing with your Zarya compared to like your Reinhardt. Like it's day and night, right? The amount of damage that you're doing with Zarya compared to Reinhardt.
I see.
So
Uh-huh.
this is like really really important. If you're not doing damage, you need to change character. Like you have to change character. Um, this guy's not getting any energy.
Yeah.
You got some energy. Get shattered. He's one. Nice. Even if you die, like he's dead. Nice. This fucker drop. He used babe. Nice. You need to fall back. You need to fall back. Right. So when they use ultimate like this,
Uh-huh.
and you're not using any ultimate, you need to fall back
Okay.
because you're not gonna kill anything here,
I
right?
see.
Like you see how you walk forward even after this?
Uh-huh.
Like you're not gonna kill anything when they're trancing, when they're beating. You're not killing anything. So you have to play more defensive. You end up surviving, which is really good. But nice flank on the Zen, easy, good bubble, good stuff, good job.
Thanks. Thanks.
You know, once you have energy, you can flank, you can get around the enemy and just kill the squishy. That's big. That's big. That's big. Yeah, good beams. You can grab this. Fuck it. Yeah, that's a misplay. You could have grabbed that.
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah,
why would I grab this one though? If it's only this guy.
just to kill the fucking Hanzo.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I mean, you kill the Hanzo. The Hanzo's just like rolling you,
Yeah,
right?
he did a lot of damage. Uh-huh.
You can just kill him.
Oh yeah.
He lands at like that headshot right there.
I see.
So you can just grab him, kill him. You stay alive on the point. You come back. You kill the Sigma as well. Like that's a worth it grab, honestly. If you can get a kill, if you use your ultimate and get one kill, um, like that's okay. That's fine, right? Like it's not a big deal. As long as you win the fight, like it's fine, right? Like don't expect to get like a six-man shatter or nothing. Just shatter one person, get the advantage on the fight, and keep pushing the payload.
I see. Okay.
Let me see what happened here. There's a misplay. All right. So once you grab this, why are you not shooting the grab?
Oh.
Right. So if you grab something, they cannot move. They cannot run away.
That's right.
So just do damage to it. Make your job easier. It's easier to shoot something that's not moving rather than something that's like flying across the map, right?
That's right.
So yeah, just shoot the Sigma here instead of like you don't do any damage to the grab actually. So that just tells you how inefficient your target priority was there. If someone's stunned, if someone's not moving, shoot that because that will allow you to do more damage to the target.
I see. Understood.
You're playing too passive here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what your supports are, look at what your teammates are.
They're in the front. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you play here, like you should be fine. Just play here, play the corner, and just pressure the Sigma, do more damage. Remember, we're not doing beam damage right here.
Yeah.
We can't. We're too far away, correct?
Uh-huh.
So get yourself in a position where you can beam damage, and obviously always play around corners, always play around cover.
Mhm.
Right here, for example, you can use this corner, and then once you have your bubble, you can be more aggressive and then fall back again. But you're playing extremely defensive. And look at what your teammates are.
Yeah, like
You shouldn't be that afraid.
okay, I see. Okay.
All right, good, good, good. We have charge. Now we can just beam this guy. Oh, they use a lot of ultimates. Nice, nice, nice beams. Good nano again. Oh, beam the hog.
That's right.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That was close. That was close. That was close.
Uh,
That reload was
what?
a little bit sussy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the same thing. Like the only way that so in this case, if they trans,
Uh-huh.
right? Like at this point, like you shouldn't be pushing forward
I see what you.
because
Mhm.
you cannot kill anything. Obviously, the hog is purple. Um, but if the hog wasn't purple, you cannot kill anything with trans, correct?
Uh-huh.
So you had a really small window to kill this hog, which unfortunately doesn't work. But I think here, after this hog like runs away, you should just like back out. You should just like back out, maybe beam the Sigma, but you should play defensive because Transcendence is not gonna allow you to kill anything. You can do damage to them, but you cannot kill them, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
So yeah, just a little bit of a bad timing because I think if you stay alive here, it's really really valuable if you stay alive here with all your charge. Just keep on doing damage, just staying alive, feeding nano, feeding another nano, farming your grab, etc. etc.
That would have been good. I see what you
I see. I can see why you push in like that. It's okay.
mean.
I mean, he was purple. It's okay.
Yeah, now it's just.
Your mechanics aren't that bad. Your
Thanks.
mechanics are okay.
Yeah.
I think if anything, we just need to
What?
we need to focus a little bit more on the try to increase your sensitivity. See how that feels for you. See if you can like keep tabs on what's happening around you. Focus more on beaming people. I think in this map, for example, you were beaming a lot more than right clicking, which is really really good.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
obviously, like we talk about why
Uh-huh.
the Rhine pick was not good, right?
Yeah. There's.
During the first part of the round.
Mhm.
Do you have any questions?
Let me. Yeah. Let me go to the pick 1 second. Yes. So when my abilities are down, I guess you kind of answer that question. When abilities are down, so like when it's a neutral game, you say it's best to like jiggle pick. That's the point that I should be jiggle playing safely, right? Is that the answer to that? Because I think usually during neutral time, like when that's usually when my DPS dies. I've noticed, or is that just me being unfortunate?
Hmm. Well, it's it's really situational of why your team is dying when you have no resources. But pretty much, in particular, when you play rank,
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't be relying on your team
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
Like you can just rely on yourself.
Okay.
So if you have no resources,
Uh-huh.
it doesn't matter what happens. Like you cannot go. You cannot keep on pushing
That's right.
because you're gonna die,
Uh-huh.
right? So, for example, if I'm playing Zarya,
Uh-huh.
right, and I'm here, like this is the. Let me go to Hollywood, so I can explain it to you
Okay.
better, because that's the map that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
So let me get to Hollywood real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can take as much map control as your resources allow you to. So So let's say you're playing this map, right? Like you were playing before,
Mm-hmm.
and you're playing like this corner, right?
Uh-huh.
You can use your first bubbles like right there in the choke. So let's say that you have like 60 energy or you have a good amount of energy. Now you're ready to push forward. You can use your bubble like here, try to do some beam damage, and get on this side,
Uh-huh.
right? The advantages of being here is that you're not behind your Vine Shield anymore.
Yeah.
And that's really, really good because now you guys are sharing damage. Your Vine is taking damage and you are taking damage too. So from this angle, you can attack the people that are behind the Vine shield, not just the Vine itself, because now you have like an off angle, right? So you can right click over here, you can right click over there. If there's someone that's a beam range, you can beam them from this area. Now once you have another bubble, you can get up here, right? You can get up here, and now from this angle, you still your Vine is over there pushing, and you're over here with your bubble. And then let's say that the enemy Rhine is like right there, like hiding or some shit. You can just ignore him and just shoot the backline from this angle, right? Like you can beat them if they're close. If they're behind the boxes, you can just right click him.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
you have to do it like like you have to push when you can push, when you have the resources to push. If you have no bubbles, you will die if you push.
Right.
You cannot push, right? Even like sometimes, even when you use ultimate, um, and you push, you can get crowd control because you have no bubbles, so you have no resources. So the same thing happens with Reinhardt, because you play Reinhardt too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you the same situation with him.
Okay.
So when you play Reinhardt, um, you don't have cooldowns with Reinhardt, right? Like obviously you have your Fire Strike. Like that's like the only cooldown that you have in Pin, but Pin is just really bad. So you don't have cooldowns. Your resources have like zero cooldowns. So what you can do with Ryan is you can use your shield. You start with 1500. Use your shield. You push over here. You push. Boom, 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 boom. Shield is at zero. So you cannot keep on pushing with zero shield because you will die. So what you need to do is you play this corner, right? You do fire strike. You play this corner. You wait for your shield to be recharged again, and then you can push again. You push again. Your shield is getting destroyed. You're just getting destroyed, and then it gets to like zero here. When it gets to zero here, you have to stay in here in this house and just like play the house, play the corner, right? Wait for the shield to recharge, and then you can push again once it's recharged again, right? Like that's how it should be. You should be pushing as much as your shield allows you to, as much as your resources allow you to.
I see.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense. But then can we add the layer of like, usually when I did like between the, because I usually can make it to this corner, yes, but when I push into that, to the room over there, right? That's usually when one of my teammates will not make it with me. Is that
Oh yeah,
still
no,
okay?
yeah, they don't need to be with you.
Okay. Okay.
The purpose of you being there
Uh-huh.
is so that you can get in closer for what?
Damage.
Damage.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
So the thing is you don't necessarily need to get to that room, but let's say that the enemy's playing there, so you can do damage by getting close to them.
Right.
But the thing is you have to go in, get some swings, and then when your shield is about to break, you have to fall back.
I see. Okay.
You cannot keep pushing in with no resources because you will die.
Okay.
So overall, I like going in these positions because if my shield breaks here, I have some way to back out. Like I have like a place to be safe. Does that make sense? Like I can be safe here in this house.
That's right.
Because if I'm here and my resources just like die, then I'm gonna be in the open with nowhere to go, and I'm just gonna get destroyed. So let's say that the enemy is there. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna walk forward. You're gonna walk forward, right? Try to do some damage, right? And then when your shield is low, you can fall back. You can even fall back to this position if you want, right? You can stay here, fire strike, fire strike. Okay, we can go back in. At this time you have nano, and then with nano you can keep on pushing because nano gives you like the damage mitigation, right? And it allows you to stay in the fight for longer. So you can stay in the fight, keep on doing damage, and keep on pressuring more. But the most important thing is don't over push. Don't do more. Your cooldowns is what's gonna allow you to stay in the fight and keep on getting space, making space or get map control. If you have like no cooldowns, you will just die if you press forward. Is that simple. Same thing goes with monkey. I don't think you play monkey at all, right? But like if you have monkey, like let's say that I'm gonna tell you how you can play monkey, right? Like what's like a good monkey setup.
Yeah.
So let's say that you start with monkey here,
Uh-huh.
and there's enemy in the high ground right there, right? You can start, you can jump in, right? You use one bubble, you fight them, you fight them, and then you fall back. You fall back, you play slow, right? You wait 5 more seconds for your next bubble, or you can even like use that time to get a flank, get a rotation. Okay,
I see.
okay, boom. What's going on? Is there people there? Okay, go in because we have bubble. We can pressure and we can stay in.
I see. I
And
see.
then once the bubble's about to break, are you gonna keep on pushing in? No,
No.
you're gonna do what?
Back.
Fall back,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
fall back, fall back. Get heal from your team. Get resources. Farm nano boost. Farm window. Farm the ultimates. And then okay, I have cooldown again. Let's go in.
Oh,
Boom.
I see.
We land here. Boom. You try to survive as much as possible. When your resources are about to drop, you can jump back out. It's about going in and going out.
And does
Going in
and does the
and
same
going out.
apply in defense now? Is that
Yeah,
the same?
obviously.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, obviously. Like on defense, you cannot just hold a position forever, right? Because enemy team is attacking you, or they're pressuring you, or they're flanking you.
Uh-huh.
Like you cannot hold forever. So let's say on defense, right? Let me give you like something that I do on defense with Zarya. So what you can do on Zarya. So on defense, usually teams hold like right here, right on this corner, right? People hold here, or like, what do you do on defense here with Zarya or Reinhardt, for example?
You go pick it, wait for them to come in, right?
Yeah, what you can do here
Uh-huh.
is you can start over here, and you can start over here so that you can get some energy,
Uh-huh.
right? You can come here, get some energy, and then fall back, right? Because once you have no cooldowns, what do? You
You
fall
back
back.
up, yeah. Uh-huh.
You fall back, you bubble your Rein, boom, alright, so we're here. You wait for another rotation of cooldowns, okay, we're pushing in, boom, you can use your soul bubble, and you can play like this angle right here. You can play like this angle, your Rein plays there, and then you beam the enemy from here.
I see.
And then if the enemy doesn't know that if you have a lot of charge, like 80 or something, you can just come back here and just shoot the backline and kill him,
Okay.
right?
I see.
Also, if coming over here is too risky for you, because there might be someone here, sometimes the enemy likes to send people over here,
Uh-huh.
um, you can just like bubble your Reinhardt, and then you can come back here.
I
You
see.
can come up here, and then you can shoot them from the top and just farm them.
Mm-hmm.
Farm the backline from the top. Because the tanks are gonna be like right there, and you're gonna be like up here, like literally killing the Zen and shit and the Ana.
That's right.
Right? But you can only do this play
Uh-huh.
once you have like a lot of charge. Because if you're here with like zero charge, you're not gonna do anything.
Okay.
You're not killing anything.
And how
So
much
you,
is like good charge? Like 60%, or are we talking it has
yeah,
to be
60 is
80? Okay.
yeah, 60 is really good because when you have 60
Uh-huh.
and you have another bubble, most likely you will get like 80 to 100 after that,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
So when you have like 60 energy and you have another bubble, like that's a really good moment for you to go for like a kill
Okay.
or play aggressive, right? But what I want you to not do is I want you to like not use bubble and just press W like this and like expect to like not die, kind of like what you did on Dorado
Uh-huh.
when you had on Orisa. You remember how you use bubble and you just press W,
Yeah.
right? And you're like, okay, no, dude, like press W,
Uh-huh.
keep doing damage, and then like fall back, right? Like play defensive, but play beam range.
Gotcha.
Try to beam them, but like don't hard commit. Never hard commit,
Okay.
because when you hard commit, like you're putting all your eggs in one basket. It's important to like press forward and then play defensive, play towards your team so that your team can see you and they can help you, right? Like that's really really important. Don't just like all in on your bubble, because you're just gonna die. You
Gotcha.
always want to make sure that you bubble and then you live so you can bubble again.
Okay.
Like that's the idea. You want to get more bubbles going, and if you're dead, that's not gonna happen. Correct? You're
That's
just
right.
gonna fucking be dead. So
That's right.
it's just get bubbles in, get energy, get damage in. The more damage you do, the more grabs you're gonna get, and yeah, that's pretty much what you need to be doing. Overall, like you need to work a lot on not going hog every time.
Okay. Yeah, I
Like
won't.
that's
Yeah.
That's something that you definitely need to change because
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's really good. Um, Especially if you're trying to learn how to play the role better.
Yeah.
Like just going hog like that is
Yeah.
it's not gonna make it better at all.
I see.
If
Mm-hmm.
the enemy team has hog and you're like, if you want to counter it, then maybe play Zarya, maybe play Orisa. If your main tank, play Orisa and fucking kill him, right? Shoot him.
Okay.
Um, if you are playing obviously if you play Monkey or if you play Reinhardt,
Yeah.
Hog will destroy you, no
Yeah.
matter what. Like
He
he will
does.
just destroy you.
Uh-huh.
But it's a matter of like just waste his time, right? Like acknowledge him, don't let him kill you. Uh, Make sure that you know he's there and don't let him like hook you for free.
Much.
Waste his time,
Okay.
right? Because if you're wasting his time,
Uh-huh.
then that's good, right? But
Uh,
overall, maybe try Orisa, give it a shot, and
okay.
I'm pretty sure your Orisa is gonna be not the best because I don't think you play the
Yeah.
character.
I never play him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's gonna be
I'll give him a shot
a
then.
little bit a
Okay.
little bit difficult. But I
Yeah.
think for now, play Sigma. I
Okay.
think play Sigma.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really good character in Overwatch One
Okay.
and in competitive in particular. And even if they have Hog, you can still make Sigma work.
Okay.
Just shield him, shoot him, stun him, right? Pressure him,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And that's gonna be like a lot better. And yeah, do you have any more questions, Victor?
Yeah. One last one. My friends wanted me to ask you is like, do you believe in elo hell? Is that a thing or is that not a thing?
Well,
What is your opinion on that?
Elo Hell is something that everybody has. It happens in every rank, not only in Diamond or Plat or wherever.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So a lot of people say like, "Oh, Plat is like Elo Hell,
Yeah.
right, or something."
Uh huh.
But no, I think Elo Hell is basically like when you're hard stuck, like your peak rank, like that's Elo Hell because
Okay.
you cannot get out of it or something.
Yeah.
It's
No.
everybody has Elo Hell, dude. Even like masters or GMs,
Oh.
like
Okay.
Elo Hell is always when you reach your peak.
Gotcha.
That's your Elo Hell because you don't know how to, you don't know what to do to improve or to get out
Yeah.
or get out of it, right?
Yeah. I agree a
But
100% on that. Yeah.
but
Wow.
yeah, it has nothing to do with the game or no. That's just like a personal thing.
Yeah, I agree
Uh,
with that. Thank you. Yeah, no, no, thank you so much. This is I can't wait to apply it. Like I'm gonna go eat and then apply all this, like micro, right? Like try to be aware of it as soon as it happens. Like, well, I'm gonna use it right away. I want to see how that goes. Like you gave me so many like micro that like when I watched it with you, I would totally did not think about. And now I can like think about it.
nice.
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
if you plan to do another coaching session in the future,
Uh-huh.
I hope I don't see you swapping hog after one death. 'Cause
Yes, no, I'll make sure. Thank you,
That's
no.
not good, bro. Like
Uh,
there's not a lot of like I can help you play a better hog,
uh-huh.
but I promise you, like does you wouldn't hire me for that.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
you wouldn't hire me for that. Like that's something that you can learn and practice by yourself. I
Oh,
would much rather teach you other more complex stuff that not a lot of people are gonna tell you.
okay.
So,
Yeah, no,
all
thank you.
right,
No, if I get another session, it'll probably be on Sigma. I'm gonna start trying Sigma and see, because I'm trying to beat the deadline, right? Overwatch 2 is like right around the corner, so I gotta. That's why I needed the session. Like, I want to be diamond now. I don't want to get.
you can do it.
Yeah, you
You can
think
do it,
so?
Victor.
Oh, thank you,
But
no, What?
like it's really easy. You're not a bad player.
Okay,
I
thank
think
you.
sometimes like I mean the fact that you're AFK on the first fight like that's horrible.
My bad, my bad.
And also like a playing character that doesn't do any damage, like Reinhardt on Dorado, for example, that's just a really bad decision to begin with.
Okay, I see.
So stuff like that you need to think about and change more. But now that you know that you need to do damage,
Yeah,
I think that's gonna help you make better decision in the future.
sweet.
But
Thank you.
anyways, Victor, thank you so much for your
Yeah,
time
no,
today.
thank you. No, we appreciate it. Seriously, thank you so much. Don't be surprised if you get another session from me.
Yeah,
Thank
my
you so
pleasure,
much.
homie. And
Yeah.
I'll see you next time if
Yeah,
anything. Have a
see,
good rest of your week, alright?
you too.
Take it
Have
easy,
a
bro.
good one, Noe. Thank you. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.